G'day everyone, how you going? Have you ever wondered how much a difference a 4.3 tonne GVM upgrade can make? I certainly have on my Laramie. We've taken the 2021 Ram 1500 Laramie to a whole new level with a Monster Offroad upgrade. I've got better handling and a lot more toughness. So I want you to stick around and see how we transform this vehicle with the 4.3 tonne Monster Offroad upgrade. Hope you get something out of it, and if you plan on doing an upgrade yourself, you might get a few tips as well. So no mucking around, let's get on with it. Okay, the first part I'm just going to go on with is just to give you a bit of an idea of the height that I am getting. I'm on pretty flat ground here, give or take a bit, but when I put it in the shed, we'll actually measure it off the diff as well. But to give you some idea, now I don't have any air in the Bosch triple airbags or in my normal airbags. And the height there is 520, 530 mils. So she's pretty high with not only with just the GVM upgrade, but obviously with the suspension kit that comes with it as well, which we'll go into more detail. So she's pretty high. As you can see, I'm about 5'10", and that's coming up to the side of the shoulder. So the question is, how do you get in and out? Well, like most things, the way I've done it and the design for myself, I find it quite easy to get in and out of the fridge. And if I have to get into the back here, I just use a step to climb up onto the ramp, or you can use the rear step that comes out on the back of the Ram as well to lift yourself up. But she's pretty high, and as you can see, the clearance between your hub, so that's 250 mil in terms of its height. So she's pretty high once you do the off-road GVM upgrade from Monster Offroad. So let's move on. I've moved into the shed because she's pretty hot outside. It's probably about 35 degrees. To be honest with you, it's not much better in here, but at least I'm in the shade. So, but what I'll do now is I'm just going to go through and I'll take my tyre off, and then we'll have a good look around to show you what the changes are in terms of the upgrade for the GVM. So just bear with me and I'll watch me rip this off. I'll speed it up for you anyway. Pretty warm. Oh man. What I'll do now is get underneath and we'll jack her up. Okay. I'm using a 4.5 tonne bottle jack to lift it up. That'll do. These are 35 tyres as well, the KO2s, BF Goodrich, which I'm really impressed with. I can't fault these tyres. They're the 35 by 12 50R, they're an 18, and yeah, I highly rate them. And you've got to have certain tyres. With the GVM upgrade, as you know, you've got to have a certain type of tyre that's rated. And in my case, these are rated through to, it's got on here, I think it's the R20, then R23. So that's the type of load-bearing capacity that you require for your tyre. And then when you're doing your install for a GVM, obviously those that are doing it for you can certainly work that out for you. The good thing about Monster Offroad, Bo's his name, is the owner of the company. I don't know if you've had any dealings with him. It's fair to say that he's a busy boy, young fella. Can't fault his craftsmanship, and the work that he's done I think is second to none. Hopefully he's improved his customer service, you know, in terms of getting back to people with inquiries and so on down the line. And he's the first to admit that that probably hasn't been the best. That said, as far as the quality and the quality of the products that he provides, I couldn't ask for anything better. And I'll certainly go through that with you and show you what he's provided there. That's a big tyre. As you can see, she's pretty big. And it comes up to my hip. Looking inside, I'll clean that up and we'll have a good look at the type of rim that we got. But she's pretty dirty. Hasn't had a good clean since I got back from the Kimberley. But you can probably start noticing some difference. The size of these rotor blades, the brakes, they're 450. They're absolutely massive. He also puts stronger and bigger bolts in. I've actually got a spare packet of those. I'll show you later. You can see the spring. Got the airbag man in there. Now, I originally had those, and the discussion was, do I pull them out when I do the upgrade, or we just leave them in there? And the bottom line was, they're doing no harm. They actually act as an alternative to the triples. And you can see the triples in the back there. That's the Bosch triple. And you can also see the billet. And I'll show you the difference between the billets as well on the back. And you can see the cutback. This is a cutback Manta exhaust as well that I've added, which gives that little bit extra as well. So as you can see, a lot going on. And probably one of my most enjoyable acquisitions is the King's shockies with the res, the 2.5 res on them. Now, Monster Offroad do a Fox 2.5, and so because I had these already, I didn't need to change them out, and so I obviously left them in there. So that was, yeah. And as you can see, it's actually relatively quite clean, considering that I've done, since the upgrade, I've done about 15,000, maybe 20,000 Ks of dirt, which includes the Gibb River Road, out to Wolf Creek Crater, out to Punanulu, which is the Bungles. So yeah, I've done a fair bit, and she's looking pretty good. Anyway, we'll get underneath and have a closer look. Just thought I'd go through some of the parts that you get when you do an off-road GVM upgrade, particularly with off-road, I should say Monster Offroad in Castlemaine, Victoria. First off is the Dorman wheel studs. I'm pretty happy with these. They got a reasonable reputation in terms of their quality and so on down the line. So, I mean, I've been around since 1918. So, yeah, no complaints, and they certainly haven't had to replace them in the time that I've had them so far. So, overall, no issues. These are the bearings. You got the inner and outer. These are the Timken bearings. There's the box there. By the way, I'm not sponsored by anyone of this, and this is all part of the package that I particularly got with Bo at Monster Offroad. So shout out to him. The thing I like about these is that, I mean, these are absolutely huge compared to what unfortunately I don't have the ones that were removed out of the bearings off the rear there for the upgrade, but these are absolutely huge and pretty good quality. Made in the USA. They're known as what they call an L10 in terms of their quality. So what that basically means is 90% of the bearings that are produced by Timken, they have 1 million revolution quality before they, in terms of their guarantee, so which is pretty impressive. So and that's 1 million revolutions under hard load. It's actually under the load of the specifications. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with these bearings. These are my spare set. So obviously the upgrade has got these on either side. The other thing that Bo gave me was just the Tamer terrain four-wheel drive pair of parts. It's the actual Land Cruiser axle stud repair kit. So that's I got 2 of these that come with it as well as part of my backup, and if I have any issues or anything like that. So in terms of these parts, internally the internal mechanisms, pretty good quality, no issues, and it looks like Bo and his team at Monster Offroad in Victoria have done their homework in terms of their R&D in getting where they needed to be in order to build a quality GVM upgrade. So overall, happy with these products and certainly haven't caused any issues at this stage. Okay, we're under the back of the Ram now. As you can see up in here, I had to take the tyre out because the 35s don't fit in here, so that's probably one downside, I suppose, putting 35s on, but yeah, so it obviously opens up this area in here quite a bit. Plenty of room. You can actually sit up as well quite comfortably on the ground, so if you have to do any repairs or any work down here, yeah, it certainly helps out. Alright, Right, let me just move over here a bit. Part of the upgrade is you get a whole raft of things in terms of what Monster Offroad are offering. First off, you've got these billets. I'll do a comparison of the billets afterwards. I'll just show you what the difference is, and they are a massive difference. This is probably 3.5 times bigger and longer in terms of, not 3.5 times in length, but certainly in strength, this alloy, compared to what comes with the Ram as stock standard. So yeah, for me that was a no-brainer. You get these mounting brackets here as well for the sway bar. This is a 27mm sway bar, so this is an increase in size and strength, and she's pretty gnarly, and again it just adds to that strength and support for the overall vehicle. This is probably the area that you're going to see the biggest upgrade in terms of the work that goes around the rear of the diff and what they do in terms of their engineering. So this is the Bosch triple Bellstow airbag. Absolutely brilliant, no dramas. I was a bit hesitant at first, but now that I've been cruising around with the Ram and the trailer under load, these just make the ride so much more comfortable. So for me, no comparison in terms of what I didn't have in the past in terms of the overall upgrade. You obviously get this sway bar as well, and again they are gnarly pieces of quality steel in terms of their strength and support, so pretty happy with that. Probably just mention one thing, I don't know, there's been a lot of speculation around the frame and the weight that you're putting on your frame, particularly on the tub. And I did notice that depending on which one you bought, and I'll link my other video in there, and I talk about this extra support bracing here. So this one here is actually being reinforced, and it's got extra strength and extra bracing on it. Not all Laramies actually, or Rams, come with that extra bracing, so it's certainly worth something checking out. And I know that Monster Offroad from Bo, they offer some bracing, and there's other companies that do it as well, so something worth consider. I actually had Thor Mechanical see if he thought that it needed it, and no. I mean, I've been towing 4 tonne on the back of this Ram here for the better part of 2 years, and I haven't had any problems whatsoever. You can see out the back there the 205 litre tank from Brown Davis. That's been a godsend, and it works very well. And you would have seen in my previous video that, yeah, we average around about 20 to 21 litres per 100 in terms of our mileage for our travels. Okay, so the airlines that you would have come off the airbags out the back of the Ram, I have the 4 airlines here where I pump up. So the top ones are the Bosch triples, or Bosch triples, and the bottom ones are the Airbag Man. And to be brutally honest with you, even towing 4 tonne, I put the Bosch triples at around about 12 to 15 psi, and the airbags at around about 10. That's the Airbag Man, around about 10 psi. Otherwise, what happens is I don't get my my level. I've just got a normal thing here. I normally use a DO45 for the back here. But when I do my level here, I work around the 550 to 500 mil range, which puts the back of the Ram and the caravan on the apron, and the rest of the caravan exactly level across the entire distance, which is just over 8 metres. So, and it works a treat. Haven't had any problems. I get good control. There's no swaying, no complaints whatsoever. So they're the ranges that I use for the airs on the Ram. Yeah, the wife just bought me some lunch, so I'm just going to have a quick bite to eat. Got some beautiful sushi, which is a bit of a fan favourite of. So don't mind me while I scoff this down. I suppose the question while I'm at my lunch is, are GVMs worth it? Well, some people will say yes, some people will say no. My experience is it's been valuable in terms of compliance. That's really the only reason I got the GVM, was to make sure that I was compliant on the road, that if I ever got stopped by heavy vehicles, particularly in WA or any other state for that matter, that I wasn't overloaded. Probably the main reason, or the second main reason that I did it, was simply not to compromise my insurance. You know, the fact is that insurance companies nowadays will test and weigh or approximate the weights of vehicles where there are accidents involved. And you only have to look at that couple in Victoria where they ended up killing someone, and it turns out that they were overloaded and they weren't legal to be on the road, and that enshrines or brings about a lot of culpability in terms of responsibility and so on. So for me, knowing when I pull out of here that I've met my GVM, in particular I've met my GCM, the combined mass with the car and the caravan, to me it makes no sense. It makes perfect sense in terms of doing that. So everyone else does it for different reasons, but for me that's been the two main reasons. Compliance in terms of your legality on the road, and secondly, not to null and void any insurance if you have an accident. So take it for what it is. It's not cheap for GVMs, and you get all different types, and this one here in particular for Monster Offroad is considered, I'd probably put it at the top end of a GVM based on what you get, where you're at in terms of the products and so on. You can get other GVMs that simply add a couple of shockies and a couple of springs and Bob's your uncle and off you go, where this GVM is completely different. You're changing your axles, your diff, your bearings, your rims, all your sway bars, your billet bars, your shockies, the list goes on. And so you really are making a big transformation to the overall performance of your car when you're doing a GVM like this. So hopefully this is giving you a bit of an insight to where and what I've done, and gives you somewhere to work between what you're getting at the lower end of the scale compared to what you are getting when you're spending, you know, tens of thousands of dollars, so to speak. Anyway, I'm going to continue eating my lunch. Okay, I'm just going to check out the shocky as well, which is the King off-road shock, plus the reservoir that comes with it. I got to admit, I'm pretty impressed with these, and they are, you know, a competitive shock compared to the others as well, like your Fox 2.0s, Fox 2.0 I should say, and others. But they are an awesome piece of kit, and I like the fact that, you know, it's got a rotation here. You can vary it by 30, so you go down to 0, really soft, and then obviously the harder you want it is up here to 30. I generally run it, and I did run it around about 18 to 22 on the Gib, which gave me that nice smooth ride. So I was pretty happy with that. That said, however, you know, there's some other shocky systems out there that you can actually manage from inside the car, and I saw that Andrew St. Pierre, or whatever his name, Andrew St. White. Anyway, I've seen on YouTube, and they're pretty impressive that you can modify the suspension leveling inside the cabin of the car. So maybe that's something for looking at in future. Just kind of running through here, the back of the car, underneath I should say, and yeah, she's pretty good. It's pretty clean and no major issues. And overall, that's just the back end, or the front end I should say, of the diff. There's the triple bag up there. You've got all your gnarly sway bars, or sorry, I should say control arms, your upper and lower control arm here, and up there, there's the other one just there in front of you. And these are, again, they're stock standard by the way, and so they're actually pretty impressive in terms of their strength. I have the other ones on the front, which I'll show you shortly. And again, that's just looking at the size of the back of the disc. The brake disc here is pretty impressive in terms of its size. But all the workings and everything else in terms of the upgrade, as you can see, pretty good. And again, what this has done so far is a testament to its strength and reliability, and I've had no issues whatsoever so far. So all good. Yeah, everyone. Now just about. I've got the wheel back on, all good and nice and secure. I'm about to torque her up on my torque wrench. What have I got here? I'm using 108. About 108 psi, which is just there, if I can focus. Yeah, can't really see it, but it's about 108. I think it's about 90 something pounds per foot. Yeah, I think it's 90. I seem to, yeah, 108 to make it nice and tight. You would have seen me taking it off. You can see it was quite tough. I don't really need to go beyond that. I don't want to over tighten them as well. And when I'm driving on corrugated roads anyway, I check them every 24 hours. So yeah, so I'll just quickly tighten them up and then we'll be good to go. Because they're a secure bolt, I've got to use this contraption here. So I've got an extension bar, I've got my socket which fits the back of the socket to do them up. So yeah, it is what it is. All done. Okay, I just want to talk about getting it all licensed and getting it all above board in terms of the compliance once you get your GVM upgrade off Monster Offroad. So a couple of things you've got to do. Basically, Bo, Monster Offroad, send the paperwork to an engineer here in Perth. He's actually located in Bibra Lake. And he does the engineering for the car. He actually doesn't need the car, he just basically makes sure that the paperwork that's provided by Monster Offroad is all correct, and then he issues you a compliance plate. And this is the compliance plate that I've got here. It's a little bit difficult to see. It was issued on the 18th of January 2024. It's got a plate number. It's also heavy vehicle certification. And in particular, I'll go around the other side here, you'll see, no, you can't quite see it, but anyway, it basically says, there it is up the top here, just in here, it says 4,300 kilos, which is obviously the modified GVM on the Ram. Once you get that done, what you got to do next is you got to take it to an authorised inspection in Perth. And I took it to, basically I just Googled it and took it to someone. I think it's about 150 bucks, 160 bucks. And what they do is they then match the compliance plate with the paperwork to what's being done on the car in terms of the GVM. Pretty seamless, it took about 20 minutes. And then about 3 weeks later in the post, you get a piece of paper showing that you've now changed the GVM of the vehicle to 4.3 tonne from 3450. So I found that process really simple, really easy, nothing too complex. And again, Bo, through his R&D, has developed a good compliance and registration step going forward. So yeah, again, no dramas at all. Well, that's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that update on in terms of my GVM upgrade on the 1500 2021 Laramie. Overall, pretty excited about it. It's done what it's paid to do in terms of its cost. They are expensive, and you know, that gets back to that $50 question. You know, what are you doing it for? And as I've explained in my video, I've done it for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, I've got a 4-tonne van that I cart around with me. And I got a little bit of work, you know, with the work done to the Ram, I'm around the 3,700, 3,750 in terms of my weight. So I need to be legal on the road. And if I'm going to be legal on the road, I need to have my insurances cover me in case something, God forbid, something goes wrong. So at least I'm protected. So that's the main reason that you would do this. That said, in terms of its capability, it's done everything that I've asked. You know, we've been, as I've already said, the Gib River Road, which is a testament to any car on the road. And I'll link my other video to it as well, that I did a bit of a rundown on the Ram from the Gib River Road. And check that one out as well. But I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. You take care now. Cheers.